Hi, I'm Fiona from My Accessible website. Today I'm going to explain to you how to create a skip to main content link which allows keyboard-only users to skip the main content of the page without having to tab through all the navigation links. I've actually recorded a separate video to explain why you might want to create one and show off a few different examples of different websites that are using them, so check out the link below if you'd like to watch that first. So I've just created a basic website for this tutorial that I'm going to use to add the skip to main content link to. You can see that at the moment when I tab through the site I have to go through all of the main menu at the top to reach the blue button in the main content. Usually the menu would have a lot more links than this in a real example. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to add an ID to the container of the main content of the site. And then at the top I'm going to add an anchor tag to link to the main content by setting the href attribute to a hash and the ID of that main content, so that when you click the link it will jump down to that section. It's important to set the link to jump to the main content container and not an anchor tag that's just before the main content. Some people are using this method and some of the browsers just don't recognise this. Another important step is to set the tab index on the main content container, and if you set this to -1 it means that you can set focus to it using JavaScript, but the user still won't be able to tab to it manually. We're going to run this up and you can see we've now got a skip navigation link at the top. So the next step is to hide that link. So to hide the link I'm going to add a CSS class to it. The most obvious way we could hide this, with the plan to get it to appear when you tab to it, is just by setting it to display none. The problem with using display none is that the screen readers can't see it, and we need the screen readers to be able to see it to give them the option to use the link. I'm using NVDA's link viewer. NVDA is a screen reader and it offers this view of all the links on the page, and it's not listed, so there's no sign of my link. So we're going to use an alternative method. The best way to hide an item from sight, but not from a screen reader, is to actually position it absolutely, and we'll set it to be well off the left of the page so that sighted users will never be able to see it. This time you can see that the link still isn't visible to us, but NVDA has picked up skip navigation as the very first link. So our final step is to add some jQuery to show this link when it gains focus from the tab key. So on document ready we select out our skip link, and then when it gains focus we'll set it to remove the absolute positioning so that it appears on the screen. When it loses focus we set the absolute positioning back on it so that it's hidden off the left of the screen again. So running this up, let's give it a test by pressing tab. Now that the link has focus, it's appeared on the screen and I can press enter to jump down to the main content and the button, and it's completely skipped the navigation menu. So let's just go over the steps to creating a skip to main content link. The first thing we have to do is give the container for all the main content an ID and set the tab index on it to -1. We then create a link that jumps down to this main content ID, and we hide it off the screen with absolute positioning in CSS. And finally we add some jQuery to show this link when it gains focus from people tabbing to it, and then hide it again when it loses the focus. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and my email newsletter to be notified when there's new ones released, and you can follow me on Twitter at MyAccessibleWeb.